All right, so let's get into the movie review portion of the show. So yesterday, I completed the Ring trilogy. I mean, I don't know if it's a trilogy. Quite honestly, this is a prequel. But this is produced. This is Ring Zero, subtitle Birthday. This is a prequel to Ring and Ring 2 that shows the story of a young Sadako, who is the villain from the Ring movies. And it shows her very, scary, abnormal childhood. And this movie, there's like a little bit of time bouncing. Like it goes from the future to, or I guess present day to the past. 69, I guess? Because it's 30 years before Ring, which is 98. So I guess it would be 68. And so, so yeah, it's a prequel. It shows why and how Sadako became, an evil cursed villain. I don't quite know what's going on this poster. This poster is pretty scary. So anyway, this movie, I'm not gonna lie, it's very good. I enjoyed it quite a lot. I might even say that I liked it more than Ring 2, the Japanese Ring 2. I might say that. I'm not sure. The thing about this movie is it kind of like the first half, really the first 45-50 minutes is it's really not that scary. It's just kind of like Sadako is she joined a drama club, an acting club. She's just trying to become an actress. So essentially someone dies at the acting club. She got scared to death, similar to how it shows in Ring and Ring 2. But Sadako swears up and down it wasn't her. She didn't do anything. Right, it wasn't her. And so basically what happens is it's revealed that there's two Sadakos. There's the evil and the good Sadako spirits. And the evil spirit is kept in a locked room somewhere in a house from the with the doctor who's referenced in the videotape. The thing I like about this movie is I just want to skip to the ending real quick. The ending where they recreate the scenes from the videotape. So you see again in Ring 1 and 2, you watch the videotape and it's Sadako is getting her head bashed in and thrown into a well, right? And then it shows up, someone staring down and then the lid closing and then that's all all that stuff is shown at the end of this movie, and I really enjoyed that. I thought they did a great job recreating those scenes. So back to where I was going before. So it's revealed that there's an evil and a good Sadako spirit, and they're kind of coexisting in a way. And the good Sadako just wants to be accepted. She just wants to make friends. She just wants to be an actress. She just wants to have a normal life. And the evil Sadako, what she does is kills someone who Sadako's the understudy for. So the lead actress in a part, Sadako's the understudy. The evil Sadako spirit against an unknowing to the good Sadako spirit's will kills them. Sadako becomes the new lead actress. And then people, they get suspicious. They're like, what the fuck's going on here? What, Sadako would be benefiting from this death. She died in a really peculiar way. They find out because they record audio tapes of the acting practice. They find out that the audio tape is heavily distorted when the other person dies. I believe their name is Aiko or something. So anyway, a bunch of people get very suspicious of Sadako. During that time, Sadako develops a romantic relationship with someone. And that was my favorite part. I really enjoyed how the movie progressed. Because the first, it's the first hour, really. I mean, the movie, the 45 minutes, the hour range, it starts to get a little heavier. But the first hour is just really good because at first I was skeptical, is this even a horror movie? But by the time it got to the good parts, it's there's a lot of setup, and the setup is we got to see where it's going. But the payoff is really, really good. It's a great payoff because she makes a friend. That friend, someone tries to kill Sadako. Because they're suspecting her of being a killer. Sadako's confused. She swears up and down she's not a killer. Someone tries to kill her. Then her friend and, soon to be maybe a lover, saves her and kills the other guy in self-defense. So Sadako's being assaulted the, would-be boyfriend comes along, starts fighting with the guy who's assaulting Sadako, and then they, and in the fight, end up killing the boss, right? So Sadako did not kill the boss, right? But anyway, so then he did a really horrible job of, like, hiding the body, and then, like, people found the body and decided that Sadako killed the boss, right? Even though that didn't happen. And then it was a literal witch hunt. And this part of the movie was like, I was sad, like, watching this. They did a really good job of, like, showing how an angry mob can just, like, be so violent for no reason. But anyway, so an angry mob chases Sadako. She's running. She eventually gets beaten to death. She gets mobbed in a corner, gets beaten to death with, like, a candlestick. It's brutal, and just watching it, like, you don't see you don't see too much visual violence, but just, like, watching her, like, seeing, like, her, like, fucked up body after they're done beating the fucking shit out of her, is it's horrifying. I'm not gonna lie, I was sad. I was really upset watching that. And so anyway, so they take her body to, like, the doctor who's supposed to be her father, and she's dead, right? But it's revealed earlier that Sadako's got the ability to heal people, so she can kill people. The evil Sadako can kill people, and so the good Sadako can heal people. Earlier in the movie, she went to a hospital, and someone who was paralyzed and handicapped was able to walk after Sadako's intervention. And so so anyway, so she heals herself. She comes back to life, and then, but eventually the evil Sadako, because she's in a radius or whatever of the evil Sadako and the good Sadako merge, and the good Sadako is trying to tell the boyfriend, like, get the fuck out of here, you don't understand. And then the first thing that happens when the evil Sadako takes over is kills the boyfriend, like, and it's a brutal scene because the boyfriend is like, I love you, Sadako. And then, like, he immediately dies, and it's really fucked up, right? So again, the origin story here is kind of like, there's a good Sadako who's, like, just trying to fit in, just trying to be a person, just trying to, like, be in society, and then, like, because of the evil Sadako, they get killed by a witch hunt and a mob, and it results in the scene where she just, like, goes on it, like, there's a forest area and she just starts killing people and they drop dead. It's great. And that's the thing I like about this movie and just the Ring movies in general, is that it's not violent per se, right? Like the violent mob beating the shit out of her, like, that's really the most violent part out of any of these movies. It's really, it's like, it's a slasher movie without the slashing, right? Because she's, like, curses them and they get scared to death. That's, like, that's the thing going on. And so, she just starts killing them. They drop dead, and then you see their faces, and they're like, right? It's crazy shit. And then, eventually, the scene, like, at the end, when she's, like, walking in on two people, the two remaining survivors, she's walking in on them, and then she does that thing where, like, her bones are, like, dislocating and stuff, like, and it's super, it's just the sound, the music, everything. It was, because I don't know, I thought this movie was great. I thought this movie was better than Ring 2. Honestly, I'm willing to say that this movie is almost as good as the original Ring. This is a really good movie for a prequel, for the third, fourth, I don't even know, of the franchise. This is a great movie. Like, the ending when she's, like, walking on her tiptoes and she's doing that shit with her shoulders, it's crazy. It was. And then, like, the camera goes back to the forest, and then you hear two gunshots. Now, like, and it's like, oh, so there's two survivors, right? They have a gun, and they, they're attempting, they point it at Sadako, and then it cuts, and then you hear two gunshots, and then it goes back in there, and it turns out that they shot themselves rather than face the curse of Sadako. Which, probably a good decision. So anyway, then the good Sadako takes back over, killed everyone except for the father. It's not the real father, but it's the adopted father, who's the doctor who does medical experiments on her. And the doctor is like, oh, it's okay. I'm gonna, everything's gonna be fine. I'm gonna fix all of this. And then, like, she's freaking out. So then he gives her a drug for her to calm down. Turns out it's like, a tranquilizer, right? And she can't move. And then, of course, like I said before, the scene that's in the videotape in Ring 1 and 2, that scene takes place where the doctor throws her in the well, beats her over the head, knocks her in the well, and then she wakes up in the well. Now, again, she has the ability to heal herself. It's shown throughout the movie. She can heal others. She came back to life after being beaten by the mob. And so it's established in Ring 1, it's established in the first Ring movie, that she was alive in the well for 28 years. So, again, Ring 1, 30 years after Ring 0, right? And it's established that she only died 1 or 2 years ago in Ring 1, right? Which means she died 28 years after suffering in the well. Now, again, the Sadako in Ring 1 and 2 is shown to have no fingernails because she's tried to climb her way out of the well with no avail. And, again, it's presumed, my assumption is that she just like kills herself and sends her life force to the videotape, the cursed videotape. And so that's the presumption that I have. It's not really laid out, but that's my presumption. But anyway, I thought that this movie was great. I thought that the recreated scenes from Ring 1 and 2, the videotape, I thought that was great. The mother who is in the videotape is not shown too much, but alluded to a little bit with the brushing hair scene. That's shown a little bit with her brushing her hair. And I thought that this movie was great. I really did. I thought that this movie was really, really, really good. I thought if I were to rank the Ring 2, and Ring 0, I would probably say that this movie is a strong contender for being the best. I just think it's really well made. I think Ring 1 has a little bit better. I don't know. I've got that original bias, right? It's hard for me, to judge sequels, versus the original, because I always think the original has, but this is a very good movie. I think the horror aspect, it's a slow build up, it's a slow climb, and I think the ending, I think it's brilliant. I thought this movie was excellent. So just throwing that out there. Ring 0, really fucking good, my opinion. And that takes us through the Ring series for this year. I know that there's other movies in the Ring franchise. There's the American Ring, Ring TWO. Then there's Rings. I don't even know what the fuck that is. I don't know if that's a sequel, if that's a prequel. I don't know. That came out relatively recently. I don't have access to any of them at the moment on any streaming service. So I don't have them. I had Ring 1, 2, and 0 on AMC Plus, so I watched those. That'll pretty much be it. I don't know what movie I'm going to watch tonight. Tonight, I'm going to take a random-ass movie. I'm just going to scroll through all the lists that I've got and just pick one at random. So I'm not going to tell you in advance what I'm going to be watching. But, again, pretty great. I heavily enjoyed this movie. And just the whole trilogy. I think 2 might be the weakest, but 2 is also great. They're all great. So watch Ring 2, watch Ring 0. They're all great. They're great. Okay. So anyway, Spook6ular, folks. Also, once again, this Friday, I'm going to get a booster shot. And also I'm going to be doing a horror stream, a video game stream on twitch.tv. So now again, I am going to be doing daily horror movie, reviews on the Above It All show, and on twitch.tv I will be doing, not daily, but I'm going to be doing very frequent horror game video game streams. I'm sorry, my brain is a little discombobulated. And so that should be interesting. That should be fun. And I'm looking forward to it, and so should you. October is coming up. Again, we're still in the first phase of the Spook6ular. We're in the pre-October phase. I started this halfway through September, and we're going to be getting into October, and things are going to be going up. So there you go, folks. That's Ring 0. So bada boom.